Hello, champion. How is your summer going so far? I hope it's great. If you don't know me yet, I'm Coach Tina, and I am the Empowering Champions community founder. I'm also a certified ULA life coach and a mastermind course creator. I know it sounds like a lot, but it's really just about helping women just like you to impact the world. And it's a process for sure. So, my summer project this year is getting our group to be even better and to reach more people. So, while I focus on our fall programming and my upcoming summer trips, I'll be playing replays of some of my previous lives, like this one. Hope you like it. Good morning, champions. Are you ready to find your sweet spot? Today, we're going to be talking about how to get inspired to share your greatness. And I am so excited to be with you this morning because I know that you are something special and you have something special to give to the world, which is why I created this group in the first place, was to get in touch with what it is you do so that we can share that out into the world with everybody else. So I'm going to make sure that we have it connected on Facebook so that everybody can see this morning. And all systems a go, as I like to say. This is definitely the most awkward part of when we're putting together the lives, but it is what it is. Oh, and Facebook has a new feature, you guys, that puts it automatically up into the featured section when I'm doing my events. So Facebook heard our pain and decided to take action on it. So it's so exciting. If you're watching live, go ahead and put hashtag live in the comments, or if you're catching this later, which is perfectly understandable, then go ahead and put hashtag replay. But knowing that you're on the call really does help me. And I appreciate you when you make those comments, as you put on likes and hearts and all that stuff on the posts. It allows other people in the community to actually see the posts, because Facebook likes to put in front of everybody what other people have said is interesting. So put your stamp on it for me. That would be great. And I'm wondering if you could add into the comments what your sweet spot is. Do you know it? Do you know that thing that you do that lights you up? If you have your sweet spot defined, go ahead and put a yes or a no or a maybe, or I'm working on it, whatever seems right to you. If you don't know me yet, I am Coach Tina, and I am a certified ULA life coach, as well as the founder of the Empowering Champions community, a mastermind course creator, and a multi-passionate woman who loves to go live each Monday morning in this group and share not just motivation to get through the week, but to talk about how you can learn and grow and share your greatness. So today, our focus is on finding your sweet spot. And we're going to start with the definition of sweet spot. And it is a combination of skills, experience, passion, interests, and how you provide value to the world. And so some of us know all those areas, and some of us have kind of this cloudy unclarity about what it is we're supposed to be doing. I work with people at whatever level they're at. And so for me, having this definition, it just kind of gets us into the conversation about what is a sweet spot and how can we use that to our advantage. So for me, talking about a sweet spot is versatile. It's different for different people. And with fall has me thinking about pumpkins, which are also very versatile. And, whether you're putting them on the porch, planning them for your Halloween decorations, planning pies or different desserts, or introduced to who knows what kind of new fancy drink we're going to get out of pumpkins this month, or might even be a pet name. A pumpkin is something that has a long shelf life of interest, and you can make out of it what you want, right? So what's the coolest or funniest pumpkin thing you've heard about this season or maybe one in the past. I know that I use it as an ingredient in a lot of dinners that I've been cooking because it is a vegetable in the end. And I love Thai food, so I can add it to like a coconut or a curry and have that be a part of what works and what doesn't for my meals. And I see that Sarah and Kathy have joined us, so I want to give them a shout out for being on. Thank you so much for commenting and letting us know some of your thoughts. We're talking about sweet spots. And the funny thing about the sweet spot, as I was putting this together, I was thinking about filling, like pumpkin pie or donuts with the sweet stuff in it. And it actually is in line with the word of the month for October in our community, which is going to be inspire. The actual definition for inspire is to fill with an urge or an ability or a feeling. And so when we work to inspire people, which is we're going to be talking about who we inspire, how we are inspired, and what we're inspired to do this month, we're talking about that filling, that thing that's within us, whether we feel empty or whether we feel full. And it goes in line with the P word series that I'm doing. And some of you have heard my Urge to Pee is the name of the series, mostly because when I sat down and said, what are all the things that I would like to teach on this month? What came up was a bunch of words that had P's in them. And I thought, well, this is weird. How am I going to find a connection? And since I had talked to a friend recently about a topic that not too many of us are talking about, and that's urinary incontinence. And it was funny to me. I was like, there's a lot of things we don't talk about, or we assume they're just topics we should keep off the shelf. But we have to talk about things that we're uncomfortable with in order to find solutions, find answers, find ways that we can improve our solution or problem solve, which is another P word, but I won't go there. So, what I do want to talk about on our sweet spot is the actual way to find your sweet spot. When I was teaching the veterans in my midst how to look for a job after they were leaving the military, one of the things I would teach them is to discover your sweet spot. And that is, I like math, as you guys have heard. There is a Venn diagram example that I think does the best job of helping people discover what it is that they're passionate about and how to put all the things that they are into a system that works for them. So I have a picture here that I'm going to put up on the screen of a Venn diagram. And it has three circles. Most Venn diagrams are the three circles, and you push them together and there are intersections in the circle. And so the first circle is your skills and experiences. These tend to be ones that we have taken classes in or have held jobs in and so on. So we have in that circle all the things that we're trained on. Yes, I can put the graphic up for a little bit. So we have our skills and experiences in one location. And inside the circle, it's a little bit hard to draw those. So off to the side is kind of where I would do that. But then you would have your circle, and it doesn't matter what order you put these in, but the one down below is your passions or your interests. So we have those things, those hobbies that have given us experiences as well. They're things that we're drawn to and we spend a lot of time on without thinking too much about it. As we talked about a little bit, maybe the flow state happens when we're there. But the other one, the third one, is our talent and our heart's desire. And it's hard for me to separate these because talent is that thing that you're just innately good at. Like you don't even know you're good at it sometimes, that it's something that other people are often saying, oh, wow, you're a great idea person, or you always make that look so easy. And to you, it's just natural. It is the thing that you can do without anything else to have. You don't have to go look it up. You just talk about it and you're an expert at it naturally. And I put in that your heart's desire as well, because that's in my definition, that's kind of given to us by God. That's our talent. When we look at scripture, right? He gave us talents, and some people used their talents and some people buried them in the ground. There's a dual meaning for the word talent. And so we take our God-given gifts, and some of them create this desire in our heart to do more. We know that we're drawn to a certain area or a certain thing that we want to do, but maybe it's out of line with our skill set or our hobbies, and other people kind of are like, what? But when you put them together and you start to see that synergy between all of the things, so what I would recommend is you make your list out to the side of all of the things that fit those three categories. But you'll notice that where the circles intersect, each circle intersects with another circle, but where all three of them intersect tends to be your sweet spot. Now, what you'll find is that two areas like talent and desire, they connect. And that might be a pet project or a thing that you work on, but where you're going to find the most bang for your buck, if you will, is in your sweet spot. And it does take some deep thinking and noodling and honesty about who you are and what you're designed for and what your skills really are. But when you start to get into that nitty gritty, you will find your sweet spot. And from that place, that's where you're going to know how to share your greatness. It's almost like amplified in that spot. I use this wheel in my three areas of expertise. I have a coaching circle, I have my community or connectedness, and I have my courses or my natural ability, which is teaching. Teaching was something I fell into. Teaching was not something that I set out to do. But what I have found is that in every job I've ever had, I naturally get tapped to teach, whether it's corporate communities, even in the military. I ended up finding my way to always being the one that would brief or present stuff, because I have that natural ability to take a set of information and put it into a different language for the consumers in front of me. And I've taken that and I've taken that into that sweet spot of how can I take coaching, connectedness, and my course writing and blend that into one thing. And some of you know that this month I'm really focused on my academy and getting people into a more intimate circle within our community where we can really work on the things that we need to work on to get us to the next level. Because it's not as easy as other people make it look. It takes work. It takes dedication. It takes direction. And if we're not focused on what we're supposed to be doing, if we don't know what we should be doing, we can be all over the place just following anybody's ideas about what we should be doing. But it's all within us. And we have got to really sit and figure out who we are and how we can get out and impact the world our way, with our set of skills, with our way of learning. And so that's what I'm setting out to do. This next 2 weeks will be a focus on the P words, the urge to P, because that's my passion. That's my thing, is to get in and figure out what people need to be doing and what's going to work for them. And so I see Kathy is saying that finding the sweet spot and making money is amazing. I love it. I'm going to put that comment up because I can. I think now, I know what's going on. I can't put that one up because it's in the private community, but it's so true. When we find our sweet spot, that's where we are going to have everything connect, and it's going to work out best for us. So put in a hashtag passion if you would like to work with me to explore what yours is and what your sweet spot is. And we will keep up with our series this week of the P words, and I'll keep adding you in. I've made one post where I'm adding all of the links to the P posts. And so you can go through them one at a time if you'd like. All right. I hope you guys have a really great week. I know it's off to a great start, and I will see you all soon. That's right. Woohoo. Okay, I'm going to end our broadcast. Actually, I'm going to bring up, because I can, I'm not going to end the broadcast just yet. And I'm going to bring up Sarah. If you want to be on the screen, go ahead and come on. And I'm going to bring in Kathy's on. And Sarah, you are in, but you're not on the screen. So if you want to put your video on, you can come up and talk too. Kathy, I think you're muted, so I'm going to unmute you. There we go. Woo.
Hi there.
I know you had something really fun happen this weekend, so I wanted to add it on because both you and I are passionate about a certain person who has our heart, I think.
Well, I will tell you, he didn't spend that much time in the event, but the people who did were amazing. And this was, Keith Cunningham was there, and he's always incredible. We had over 6 hours with him. A very small segment of that was accounting this time around, which was really nice. He really talked about leadership and culture and sales, and it was great. But I'll tell you, I was really surprisingly impressed by Jeff Cochran. And if you haven't heard him, you need to hear him. He did this whole segment on negotiation skills, and he actually had to do some exercises that were really pretty interesting and really caused us to apply what he was training us on. And above and beyond that, he engaged the crowd. Everything was virtual. And so he was watching all the chat boxes, and he would actually pull somebody's comment out and pull them up on the screen right then and there. Unlike the others, might just happen to mention it, but not even mention who it was. So he was really engaging, really funny, presenting the information in a way that really made it stick. One of the exercises that I thought was really interesting was that there was an A person and a B person. One person was an agent for 2 authors, and the other person was the publisher, and they had to negotiate what the advance, what the royalties were going to be.
Oh, wow.
I was the publisher, and there were extra little things that they added to it. They told me that the most I could give them as an advance is $3 million, and that for every dollar under $3 million, I got half of it as a bonus.
Ooh.
I had a set of twins going to Harvard this year that needed $75,000. And then they went on to tell me that the two authors were husband and wife, and the best that one person ever grossed was $1 million, and the other person grossed. Sorry, the husband was $2 million, the wife was $1 million, of course, because the women don't make as much. And so the goal was to try, and the only percentage you could offer was 15%. You couldn't go higher, you couldn't go lower. And the man that I was negotiating with thought that he was paying me royalties. And I'm like,
that's great. That's great.
And so it was really funny, because one of the first things he said is, don't make the first offer. And I kept asking him. So he made the first suggestion. He only asked for $1 million. And I'm biting my tongue. I'm like, well, I don't know about that, and I'm trying to downplay it.
Right.
And I said, well, let's talk about the royalties first. He says, well, I'm willing to pay 18%. I said, I'm the one paying the percentage. And once he understood the concept, I said, I'm willing to give you 15%, not a penny more, not a penny less. He goes, well, if you're willing to give the $1 million as an advance, then I'm willing to accept the 15%. And when we went back to the room and he found out I could have given him as much as $3 million, I typed in our chat box, sorry, Cameron. And he went, haha, good job. We both walked away happy. It's okay.
Right. It's a great lesson, right? I mean, I used to do that with my students when we would go through this class that I was doing the Venn diagram on, because they would do that same thing. One of them would be the manager, and he had certain requirements, and the other one had the desire for how much they wanted to make, and they got to negotiate. And we talked about it later. And that same thing would happen a lot of people would feel like, oh, we left a lot on the table, but they were happy with it until they knew the details behind it. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you do need to focus instead on the win-win and not on what could have happened after the fact. We're interesting creatures, the way our brains work.
Yeah, it definitely was an interesting exercise, but I thought it was a great way to apply what he was teaching us.
Yeah.
There were a lot, and it was funny because the other gentleman, Cameron, was really good at going down the checklist, engage them, find out about them personally, make the personal connection. I'm right for, so what do you want to do here?
Right. And for those of you that are watching, Kathy attended Business Mastery 2 this week, which I believe that's the only one I haven't been to. I've done all of his stuff, but I haven't gotten to the second level of Business Mastery yet. So
it's taking a deeper dive into what you did in Business Mastery 1.
Yeah.
So cool the way that they split it up. Instead of it being immersive, you know, 5 or 6 days in a row, you actually do 2.5 days and 2.5 days.
Okay.
Like 6 apart. And the first one is about 6 months after. If you did Business Mastery in January, we did the first one in April, then we did the last one the end of September.
Okay.
So it gave us a
chance.
It gave us a chance to apply and be able to go deeper into some of the skills and also connect with the community, talk to other people. I got some great insight from some other people on some of the challenges I'm dealing with. Not so much the challenges, but the growth that I want to make and trying to figure out how to do it. And I know we're not supposed to get stuck in the how, but, you know, if you don't know, you want to connect with people that have ideas that can give you suggestions rather than your short list. Because one of the things that we went into was OOCEMR, which is a decision-making model that was incredible as well. Can't say enough about it. And it totally got me excited for the rest of this year with UPW next month and Date with Destiny.
Yeah, I know. I'm really thrilled about Date with Destiny. It's going to be fun because I'm Leadership Academy this year for it. It'll be my last one. So for now, you reminded me though, Inner Circle. So the big push this week is Tony Robbins started a new Inner Circle, and it's an app instead of the way it was before. And he is offering it for free for 2 weeks to anybody that wants to get in. And now, of course, they're going to take your credit card information, and it is $97 a month. So if that's outside of your budget, I'm not proposing to anybody to do something outside of what you can afford. But if you do sign up now on Wednesday, the 6th, he is doing his live. So he does 3 lives a year, I believe, in the Inner Circle. And the Inner Circle is a monthly support. And it is what it says. It's a lot of really high level people that are working on themselves within a community. And this new app makes it super easy to connect with people. There's even a place where you can connect with people that are in your community. So, you know, Oklahoma, there's only like 4 or 5 of us, which I'm kind of sad about, but there are a lot in Texas. And so you can identify people that you can support in your area and get with and be with like-minded people. But he's going to give his kind of State of the Union, where we are with the economy and all of that on the 6th, starting at 2 p.m. Central. And they're expecting it to be at least 2 hours of new material from Tony. So if you're looking for insight into Tony, I would definitely say put in hashtag Tony, and I'll send you the invite to get into his Inner Circle for free for 2 weeks. And like I said, it's going to be outstanding. You also, in the app for 2 weeks, you get all of his audio series. So if you wanted to just binge watch Tony for a week or 2, you would have so much good material. His stuff is amazing. So I highly recommend it. And I'm in it because of Kathy.
I actually joined when it was first offered 2 years ago. It is incredible. And whenever you need that quick hit, it's awesome. As far as connecting with people, the great thing about Tony's group is that you don't have to be limited to your local area. It's nice to be able to actually see somebody face to face, but you're able to talk to people from around the world. I've been in mastermind groups with people from around the world. I was fortunate enough to go to Fiji this past May, and actually there were only 47 people in that program. And at the 47, a third of us are getting together and going to UPW and having a reunion dinner beforehand. And again, it's all over the world in all different businesses and mindset. Well, same mindset, but different areas that people are experts in. So it's really cool.
That is really cool. I'm excited. So it's great talking to everybody today. I hope you all have a blessed week. And thank you, Kathy, for filling us in on BM2. And I'm going to keep picking your brain on a few things. And maybe I'll go and look. Maybe I'll stretch myself and go to UPW. I've never done the firewalk because I haven't done an actual in-person. So I thought, oh, this is my opportunity.
If you're going to do it, you have to get in quick. The main room is already sold out. It's been sold out for over a month. They have the power pavilion where you'll still do the firewalk. And from what I understand, Tony does come in and do some guest appearances in there.
Okay.
But definitely, if you do it, I'd love to catch up with you when you're there.
Okay. It sounds awesome. All right. I hope you have a blessed week, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So how'd you like that video? What was your biggest takeaway? If you would please like this post or put a heart on it or comment. If you do that to this post, then other members can benefit too. It will boost the post in Facebook algorithm, and other people will know that this is valuable material. And remember, if you're working on your summer goals and you need support or encouragement to stay on track, you might want to get into our summer project program. Just comment #summer, and I'll reach out to you and get you the information as soon as possible. All right. I hope you have a really great week.